Today we are talking about 15 reasons why I absolutely love Lubbock, Texas. Bing! So number one is the economy. If you like cheap things, Lubbock is cheap, but it's not bad quality. It is cheap in the sense that it is very affordable. It's a very nice, affordable, growing, booming, you could say, little getting bigger town that just has a very robust and solid economy. I know we're beating a dead horse with this. Lubbock's economy is thriving with an unemployment rate of just 3.2% as of October 2023, well below the nation's average at 3.7%. So we're already doing better than the nation. So that tells you something. Lubbock's economy has expanded at a 7% annual rate, driven by major sectors like healthcare and education. Lubbock sustains approximately 151,000 jobs across all sectors, private and public. Get this, we're getting so granular, folks. We're getting just down to the nitty gritty. Here we go. I feel like I'm on Shark Tank or something. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. So Lubbock's GDP actually surpassed 16 million, ranking 170 out of 348 metropolitan areas, accompanied by a 5% wage growth in 2021. So you can tell we're kind of on the up and up like this. We're kind of moving up like that. So let's get to number two. Lubbock, I'm probably one of them. If you think I'm creative, I might not be, I might be. You don't really know me until you call me. Lubbock is a great place for creative folks. It doesn't seem like it would be, but I'm telling you right now, it is. We've got the First Friday Art Trail. First Friday of every month, people gather downtown, go see all the local artists, all the stuff they've got. It's really cool. It's like a tight-knit group. Fun thing to do on the first Friday of every month. In the evening, grab a beer, grab a whiskey. If you're an alcoholic, don't grab anything except a water or a Sprite or a Coke maybe, but not spiked or mixed. Just grab something without alcohol in it and enjoy the art. I mean, you see some crazy stuff. Some people got some wild stuff going on in their brains and they just splatter it on a canvas. I mean, it's crazy to see and interpret art like that. I enjoy it. I don't think that I could do it as effectively as those other folks, but that's why I'm on camera. That's what they pay me for. So that's why I'm here talking to you right now on the couch eating your carrots and hummus. The Lubbock Symphony Orchestra has been a thing for 75 years. They've just been moving and grooving, and I mean, I don't know, I've never seen them, but I've had friends that have seen them live at the Buddy Holly Center this Friday night, the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra. But yeah, anyway, the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra has been a thing for 75 years. You should go see them. They're great. They do all sorts of performances, all sorts of concertos, all sorts of sonatas, all sorts of classical things that you could enjoy and love. Yes, my hair is cut. Yes, I am looking more handsome. Yes, you should give me a call. My number is right here. I will help you with all your Lubbock real estate needs. Buying, selling, investing, which kind of goes into buying. Anything you could want to do, I can help you with. Don't be afraid to pull out that phone, hit them digits, and give me a ring-a-ding-ding, because it will be me you're talking to. My number is right down below. Thanks so much. Lubbock's also got a solid aquarium that we're building. Yeah, it hasn't been built yet, but it's being built. I'm not exactly sure when the completion date is, but I know it's going to be relatively soon. It is going to be so cool, great for science, great for people who want to see manatees if they have them. I know there's going to be penguins there. I love penguins. We just found out in the last video I did, the interview video, that there's this place called Jake's, and they actually have little people wrestling there, which is pretty cool. I'm very excited to go see that. That's something that just fast-tracked its way to the top of my list of things to see in Lubbock that I haven't yet. So even I find out these new things about this place. It's crazy. Okay, let's move on to number three. Food. I think at one point Lubbock actually had the most restaurants per capita, if that's the statistic you would go. But the most restaurants per capita, maybe the most actual restaurants on a block in a neighborhood, who knows. But Lubbock has some bussin' down food. I'm talking, oh my God, you eat that and it's gonna be bussin' down. You're gonna be grubbing in Lubbock, Texas. I've talked about it before, but they've got some banging food. Some notable restaurants, Picante's is a great Mexican restaurant on 34th. El Malecon is one on 50th in Utica. That is a really good one. Two great Mexican restaurants, if you can tell I really like Mexican food a lot. You've got Dirk's Chicken, which is a newer restaurant. It's downtown. It is some really good chicken. My favorite is the rotisserie chicken. I think it's the best I've ever had in the world. Honeycomb Pie Shop's another cool one. That's on 50th Street. I've been there multiple times. You get a nice chicken chicken salad sandwich, tuna, whatever kind of sandwich you like. It's a very unique place. The whole place looks like a honeycomb, if you could imagine being a bee and flying in there. They've got bee-themed everything. It's just a cool place for sandwiches. Probably, it is definitely my favorite dessert place on the entire planet is Holly Hops Ice Cream on 34th Street. That place, you go in there and get the Purple Cow milkshake. The whole place has the setup of kind of a 1950s diner, checkered floors. There's a jukebox in the corner. They've got all sorts of soda pop, back when people used to call it pop. But just a lot of very fun, unique mom and pop restaurants in Lubbock that are worth checking out. Get this, the West Texas region actually also accounts for 90% of Texas's grape production. But yeah, apparently the soil is great for grapes to grow, so a lot of folks actually move to places like Brownfield, which is about 40 minutes from Lubbock, and they have lots of vineyards there, which is a very interesting concept when you're thinking about, I don't think you would correlate the two, Lubbock grapes, but we're like a grape haven, and who knows, we might be in Napa Valley one day if we keep growing and booming and busting. We're going to be the country version of Napa Valley, which, yeehaw cowboy, I'm here for it because I love me some wine. Okay, let's move on to number 4. This is probably the most obvious one, but I love Lubbock for this specific reason, is the sports. Yes, I went to Texas Tech. It is a fantastic school. I love the campus. I love the architecture. I love the people there. I love the vibe we got going, the Spanish architecture, but I'll tell you something about Lubbockites that we absolutely love. It is Texas Tech sports. Whether it's football, which we're kind of on the up and up with football, or basketball, which we've been at the pinnacle, golf, all these sports. I'll say the Rawls Golf Course, which is Texas Tech's official golf course, is probably my favorite course in Texas to play. Yes, I do play golf. Not well, but I play. By far, it's a beautiful course. I mean, you get the most hills you probably could see in Lubbock. It's got a very deserty feel. It feels like something that is attributable to the region. So lots of good stuff going on in Lubbock. I mean, football games get really bonkers. They get out of control, especially if you're not tame on your drinking, which I have a tendency to get a little bit rowdy during football games, but I still love them. You can go stand in there. The energy in the crowd is palpable. It's intense. We do this thing where one side of the stadium, usually the student side, will start chanting Raider, and the other side will chant Power, and it gets louder and louder as it goes back and forth. It's like you're in the Coliseum watching gladiators duke it out. It's like you're watching Maximus Decimus Meridius, husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son, get out there and just do his thing in front of the emperor. Anyway, it's a very cool thing to watch Lubbock or Tech sports, and we just absolutely love them. We've also got LCU and South Plains College, which if you're into this or smaller school sports, that could be something for you as well. Something I just learned is there's a huge basketball tournament going on right now in Lubbock. High school basketball tournament. Over 200 teams compete and play in this tournament. It's a big deal. They call it the something in the Cap Rock or whatever, which is something, you know, so there's something for everyone. High school sports are a big deal in Lubbock as well. Get this, in 2023, a Texas Tech football game drew 81,826 attendees, ranking as Texas's second largest sporting event crowd at the time. That's pretty crazy. So Tech pulls a lot of people in. Okay, let's go into number 5, the historical context of Lubbock. It is a really cool place. I mean, there's a lot of rich history in Lubbock. We've talked about rock legends like Buddy Holly. Waylon Jennings is from close to Lubbock. But you've also got some really cool Native Americans used to run around in that land like crazy. That was their land because the buffalo were such a big part of our region. So you'll go out of town, you can find arrowheads. The Comanches used to run around and do their thing in that area. Really cool historical geography there, which is something that not a lot of places can say they have. It wasn't boring 200 years ago in Lubbock. I'm sure it was really poppin' if you were Native American. Texas Tech has its own museum, which is really cool. There's a museum called the Silent Wings Museum, which is a World War II fighter plane museum. So all sorts of different historical things you can look at. We've of course got the Buddy Holly Museum, which he is our claim to fame. He's our most famous resident thus far. The man who kind of started and revolutionized rock and roll, but whatever. Okay, number 6 is that Lubbock is extremely family friendly. Now I don't have a family yet. I'm assuming I will one day. And I will tell you that I would much rather raise my children in a city like Lubbock than probably a city like Dallas, because Lubbock just has a help your neighbor out kind of vibe. You're not in the rat race really. Everything is quite a bit slower paced in Lubbock. So yeah, just all around great for kids. The school system's fantastic. And not only that, when you're thinking about raising a family, when you got mouths to feed and you're providing for your family, that's gonna add a lot of cost to, well, what it's gonna do is it's gonna drain your bank account. So you're gonna be looking for places and ideally want to be living more affordably. And Lubbock is extremely affordable across the board. Groceries, gas, rent, mortgage, you name it, it's cheaper in Lubbock. Also, get this folks, traffic, pretty much non-existent in this place. You can get from A to B in about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, anywhere in Lubbock, really. You just take the loop, hop on the loop, circles around, go wherever you want, 10 to 15 minutes. That is a huge factor to making maybe your family life more enjoyable as well. Something a lot of people don't think about, but I'm telling you, it's a sleeper. Okay, let's move on to number 7. This one is gonna be a hot button issue, especially if you're a husband and wife watching this specifically, because I'm sure the husbands might get a little bit angry at this one, but Lubbock is a great place to shop. We've got lots and lots of shops. We just got a new Lululemon store for all you females out there. Lululemon's got great man stuff too. I think mostly women really gravitate towards it, and I can't blame them for it. They got some quality stuff. Not only do we have great places to shop and get clothes, we've got some really cool farmers market stuff. There's a farmers market in Wolfforth that is open year round, and it's on 3 acres. It features a variety of food, homemade goodies, crafts, farm fresh vegetables, kind of a granola place to go. You bring your dog, bring your family. It's kind of a madhouse. There's some crazy stuff that goes on there. Lots of vendors, just a really cool environment, really niche, cool thing if you're into stuff like that. The West End, which is home to P.F. Chang's, which I actually did sell a couple years ago, thank you very much, has over 50 shops, including a Nike store. You got all sorts of restaurants. You've got a Cabela's, that's where the Costco is. We've talked about the sunsets in Lubbock and how just immaculate they are, but number 8 is that Lubbock is a sun-kissed city, not the soda. But Lubbock actually enjoys over 265 days of sunshine per year, so you ain't getting depressed in Lubbock. I'll tell you that in the summer it does get pretty hot. The average temperature is in the low to mid 90s, but we do get some days where, I mean, if you put an egg on the asphalt, it's gonna cook. I mean, that thing is gonna be over easy in less than a minute. The wintertime average is low 50s, high 40s. Granted, we do dip lower than that, and we've got everything in between for the other seasons. It is Texas. I cannot put more of an emphasis on that. We do have a wide range, but those are kind of the averages. It's not crazy, but we do get a ton of sun in Lubbock, which I know a lot of people love. I love, gets you some good vitamin D. I know I'm pale. Number 9, this kind of goes back into this kind of piggybacks off the last one, is because Lubbock's so flat, we got good weather. Not a lot of buildings everywhere. It's a great place to look at stars. A lot of people, I've seen people in parks at like 11:30 p.m. Don't ask me why I was there. Walking around the park. I'm walking and you see these people who are out there. You see like a red light in the distance. You can't tell what it is. And these people have these giant telescopes, like probably the size of me, just looking at stars and the moon and different planets and stuff. It's just a great place to stargaze and look at all that God's creation has to offer in the evening time. Not a ton of clouds. Like we said, most of our days are sunny. So in the evening, it's not sunny obviously, but the moon's out and there's not a ton of clouds in the sky, so you can see stars galore. I'm from Dallas originally, so when I moved to Lubbock, it was just amazing in the evenings because I'd go outside, and if you drive 20, 30 minutes outside of town, I mean, it is beautiful. You really get to see everything that, like I said, space apparently has a lot to offer for us. So we have events apparently where there's something called the West Texas Star Party, which is an annual event near McDonald Observatory, which attracts amateur and professional stargazers around the world. I'm not sure how you could be a professional stargazer, but I think all it takes is a pair of eyes. We've got McDonald Observatory, which is near Lubbock. It houses renowned telescopes, leading cutting-edge astronomical research devices, public stargazing programs, opportunities for people to look at just everything that's in the sky. If you love stars, Lubbock's a good place for you. Okay, let's get into number 10, budget friendly. I know we talked about the economy and how it's growing and all the jobs, and we've touched on the budget-wise stuff, so we don't really need to get into it nearly as much here. But like we've said, folks, Lubbock is significantly cheaper than the national average. The median cost of a home is just around $235,000 in Lubbock. That buys you a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house between 1,200 and 2,000 square feet, depending on what neighborhood you're going in. So everything is cheaper. As of December 2023, the median rent for all bedroom counts and property types in Lubbock, that means apartments and houses, is $1,277, which is of course lower than national average. So whether you're renting a house, an apartment, a condo, a townhome, whatever you're renting, it's going to be cheaper than pretty much most places that you could find in the nation. Okay, I know we touched on a lot of that stuff, so let's get to number 11, the people. I will tell you this, Lubbock has the nicest people on the planet, I believe. I've been a lot of places. I've been all around the world. This past summer, went to the UK, went to the British Open golf tournament. I'll tell you, people there, kind of nice. Not incredibly nice. I wouldn't say that they're the friendliest. Plus, they're speaking English, but it's really difficult to understand what they're saying. If they've got thick, like English or Scottish accents, crazy. But Lubbock people, I'll tell you, people are holding the door open for you. People are saying, yes ma'am, no ma'am, flipping their cowboy hats like that, like they're Woody in Toy Story. There's a snake in my boot. There's just a lot of really friendly people in Lubbock. Now, of course, anywhere you go, you can find people who are rude and aggressive. That's just the nature of humanity, really. But I will tell you, Lubbock just has, it's reserved that old time feel where people just look out for each other. That's why it's a great place to raise a family. They look out for each other, they care about each other, they want other people to succeed. Like I said, you're not in the rat race, the competition isn't super severe with your neighbor. You don't have to have a bigger house than him or a nicer house. People are just kind of on a slower pace of living there. And I think that plays into the kindness of people. It's a less materialistic, less vain place. You're gonna find people like that everywhere. But Lubbock is significantly friendlier than Dallas. I'm a personal testament to that. It's called the friendliest city in America for a reason, folks. We're not kidding. I'm not BSing you here. It's just a very friendly place. Number 12. Gosh, this is a very long list, and I'm loving it because I love Lubbock. It is a music lover's haven. Yes, we've talked about Buddy Holly. He is the revolutionary of rock and roll, pretty much. Fight me on it if you don't agree. Lubbock's deep musical roots are evident not only in the legacy of the mid-1950s rock legend and pioneer, Buddy Holly, but also in the city's thriving live music. We've got lots of live music shows. Go to the Cactus Theater in the Depot District. Tons of concerts there all the time. We got concerts at the Buddy Holly venue in downtown. We've got all sorts of stuff. Rock, blues, jazz, classical. Like I said, we've got the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra. We've got a lot of Texas country artists that go through Lubbock all the time, and it's kind of their cornerstone. Parker McCollum, Co Wetzel, those type of guys, those red dirt type folks. Waylon Jennings, Mac Davis, William Clark Green. Yeah, it's just a great place for musicians and music in general, and art. Okay, number 13. We got festivals, we got celebration, and they're all in the same genre right here. 13 is festivals and celebrations. Here's just some off the top of my dome. I'm not looking at anything. The Firecracker Run is the oldest continuously run road race in Texas, offering a 1 mile, 3 mile, and 10 mile races for the whole family, promoting fitness and celebrating the nation's birthday at its 46th annual event. So that's a yearly thing called the Firecracker Run. You can go get involved in doing that. The Lubbock Arts Festival, recognized as the best in Texas, is a 2-day celebration of West Texas's largest fine arts and crafts events. It features over 100 visual artists from across the US selling various art. So that's just another thing we do. Of course, I talked about First Friday Art Trail. It's a really cool place for festivals and celebration. During Christmas, we do this thing called Carol of the Lights at Texas Tech, where they've already put up all the Christmas lights, and it's one night, and they turn them all on at the same time and turn on the lights on the big tree that's at the front of campus. It's really cool. Okay, number 14. We are getting close to the end here. We're at 14. It is a good place for nature buffs and people who love to be out in nature. You might think, well, Lubbock's flat. You've said there's only cotton fields. That's a lie. I'm not lying to you, but there's more than just that. We've got Lake Allen Henry, which is about an hour from Lubbock, which people bring their boats on, they fish. You can camp around there, there's campsites. We've got this really cool thing called the Corn Maze, which is kind of in North Lubbock, and it's seasonal, so it's usually in the fall. And it's a corn maze. That's what it is. So you go there, and it's a maze, and you get through it, and they do different themes for Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that stuff. Great place for a date. We've got the American Windmill Museum in Lubbock, which is the world's largest windmill museum, which features over 200 windmills indoors and outdoors, showcasing the history of those things throughout time. We've got a large tractor museum that I've been to both those places actually. And the tractor place is crazy. I mean, they've got all sorts of tractors from the inception of the tractor to modern day tractors there. It's just so cool to see that stuff. And this 14 kind of brings us to 15, which Lubbock's a gateway to adventure. So we've got Padre Canyon State Park, which people call the Grand Canyon of Texas. It offers stunning hiking trails, camping, scenic overlooks. 2.5 hours from Lubbock, we've got the Monahans, the Sea of Sand. It's a state park, and it's literally just, it looks like you just got dropped into the Gobi Desert or the Sahara or wherever that desert is in Egypt, whatever it's called. Route 66, which is called the Main Street of America, passes through Lubbock, offering a nostalgic road trip experience. Just 2 hours west of Lubbock, we've got New Mexico's Bottomless Lake State Park, which features sinkholes formed by lakes reaching 90 feet deep, where people can enjoy diverse activities such as non-motorized boating, fishing, camping, picnicking, swimming, hiking, birding, scuba diving. Yes, you can scuba dive there, you name it, they've got it there. So Lubbock is the road to adventure as well. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was a longer one, but if that's 15 things that I love about Lubbock, I think it's a great place. I just absolutely hold it in very high esteem, and I hope you do too. I hope you want to check it out. I hope you want to move there, invest there, do whatever you want. My number's down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Toodles.